Gary, Whitby Town out the FA Trophy with a 2-1 defeat against Hebburn this afternoon. Just your thoughts on that one?
A game in terms of performance, probably a game of two halves on our part. Really, I asked for a continuation from Tuesday. We probably didn't get that first half. Just didn't seem, energy levels didn't seem as there. For whatever reason, I don't know, but second half, I thought we came out and showed a little bit of impetus about us and got after them and obviously got the goal. Had a couple of chances on within that second half as well to go ahead, but then as it is, we concede a chance and they score a good finish, to be fair to them. So, well done to Hebburn. Just disappointing. Obviously, it's a competition we want to do well in. Having gone out of the FA Cup earlier on in the season, and it wasn't to be. I just said it's all about consistency levels, and I go on about it all the time. It's probably why players and staff, it's probably why we're at this level ultimately. We're finding those levels as often as we possibly can, and the players that do ultimately find themselves at a higher level, and decision making comes into the same bracket. The players that find themselves making those right decisions more often than not find themselves at the top as well, and we just didn't have enough of either of those things today, and no, we went out disappointingly to Hebburn here. So no, a really disappointing day for football club.
Yeah, and that first goal well for Hebburn in the first half, on the whole, that first 45, it lacked quality. Hebburn probably shared it in terms of the chances created, but I think really the man of that goal just sort of summed that performance up really for Whitby.
Yeah, I'll have to see it again. It seemed pretty easy. I think it came from a throw-in, which was really disappointing to concede from. It seemed just a couple of simple passes and they were in, and the lads took it around blindly and tapped home. So disappointing goal to concede, but we had chances at the other end. I can't remember too many within that first half, but certainly in the second half I felt like we had a lot of final third territorial possession, and we just couldn't really get enough from that possession and put away the chances we did have. I think that puts us on about 15 games ish this season, and I think only within 3 of those we've scored more than 1 goal. So it's a stat that it's there plain to see. It puts a lot of pressure on the back lads to obviously keep clean sheets to win games, and that's something where we certainly need to improve in terms of that final third and scoring more goals than we're currently doing.
Yeah, and just looking to the start of the second half, you could tell early stages of that some harsh words must have been said at half time, because there was that reaction there, and Jarrett was getting his first goal for the club.
Yeah, pleased with Jazz. Obviously, he had to go off with a chest issue, but now pleased that Jazz has got his goal. And yeah, we came out second half. Obviously, we had to address a few things at half time. We knew that from where we were Tuesday and where we could be, that we weren't nowhere near those levels, and we felt like we had a lot more to give, and we did that second half, and we came out and showed that right from the off. Really, we on a difficult day with difficult conditions, we won those first and second balls, and played some decent stuff in Heburn's half, and had a lot of possession and got a deserved goal, but felt like we were gonna go on and grab another, but as it was, they get a little lucky ricochet and good finish to the lad, and they come out winners on the day.
And some of those chances as well in that second half, like you say, it was certainly more attacking intent, albeit without anything too clear cut, and I guess that's the disappointing element, is the fact that you just couldn't find that clear cut opportunity to try and get yourself in the front.
Yeah, it was. I just said I don't question the lads' work rate, especially second half, and the lads worked hard first half, but just the quality wasn't there, and that desire that I asked for wasn't there. But certainly was second half, and as you just mentioned, we got into some good opportunities. It was just that final pass or cross or shot that didn't quite we didn't quite take care with, whether it be a cross that went out of play, or whether it be a shot that we didn't quite get enough on. it just wasn't to be, and it seems to unfortunately be the way it's going at the moment.
I suppose it was disappointing after conceding that part of that bar and that chant when Jed Charles knocked it into the path of later Watts, it did feel that it just went a bit sort of flat and stagnant again, like it was in the first half.
Yeah, you know those moments are the key moments, aren't they? And you know, whether it be in league competitions or in cup competitions, and certainly against tough opposition, you know, those chances are going to come few and far between, unfortunately. And when they do come, you've got to take them, as they've done twice today. You know, we've had one chance and being able to take that, but as I mentioned, we're not scoring enough goals at the moment for the chances that we are getting within games.
Yeah, and the big thing ultimately riding this result is, you know, after both cup competitions now, and obviously with a very tough position in the league at the moment as well, it kind of, where do you feel you go from here?
I've just said, you know, the lads are obviously disappointed in there. We're out of both competitions, which I know are important competitions for the football club, and we've just got to pick ourselves up. You know, we'll train this week. We'll train hard. We've got you know, a league campaign now to really try and you know, get some points from. We've got, I think it's Ashton at the weekend, and then we've got a group of home games where we really need to pick up some points, you know, within this next month or two. You know, a big couple of months for the football club and for the lads. So no, we'll you know, I'll do my best to pick them up. Obviously, I just said to them be disappointed, but you know, it's important that we try and stick together. We try and pick ourselves up, and you know, we look forward to some good games that are coming up.
Yeah, and just looking at that game as well against Ashton, probably not the ideal side to play some, you know, one of the stronger ties in the division, and certainly gave him a run around last season.
Yeah, bad memories there, but Cunny's got a good team there. He's got a good squad, and they'll do all right this season. They do all right every season, and it'll be a tough game. You know, we've obviously got you know, our last trip to Stocksbridge, our last away game wasn't great, and we certainly need a reaction from that. But no, we'll go there, and you know, I'll give it everything I've got. The lads will give it everything they've got, and you know, we'll see how it goes.
Thank you very much, Gary.
Thank you.